I had been a cheerleader, and the season was winding down, and we didn't win that particular game, which was it was a, what do you call it, preliminary?
Yeah.
To the championship, citywide championship.
Go get Catholic school, yeah.
And we started talking, and I guess we've been talking ever since together. We just struck up a conversation. I don't know whether it was love at first sight, but we had a magnetism toward each other.
I don't know what caught my eye really, that, you know, back in them days, you young, you know, football games, and those time at games you have parties to go to and everything, and you had a certain crew that goes to the party. It's sort of like a clique, like, you know what I mean? You've been, you know, and I remember her wanting to go one time, and we driving up, we don't want her in there, don't bring her, and I would say, let her come, you know what I mean? But we left her. I can picture that day to right to the day now. She standing though, looking at us driving away. It was a whole crew. I say about 4 cars, all going to the party. Left her. But the next day when I called, we started talking. One thing, that's another. We started going together.
He said we're going to get married.
It was a crazy, it's a between thing. We said we're going to get married. You know what I mean? We was married. We was married across the street here. We had our reception in his house here.
I would go to Incarnation, the first Incarnation on Browning Place, with my girlfriends on Sunday mornings, and my mother was all right with it. Her family had been Catholic. She was all right with it, but if I didn't go with them, I had to come to Atonement. After we married, I still went to Atonement, but St. Luke offered bingo, and we would go, my girlfriends and I would go to bingo, and the priests who were there at that time said, why don't you come to Mass sometime? I think I had hit a bingo game and was talking to who was Brother Ed at that point, and Father Ed Schifrella. And he knew that I was working with kids, and he invited me to come down and work with the kids in the CYO. And then he invited me to Mass, and my brother-in-law, Gene's baby brother, had been confirmed while he was in the Air Force, and he was getting married, and his wife wanted to join the church, so I started going to the confirmation classes with her, and it ended up we were confirmed, and I worked with the summer youth program.
Later on, you know, like she said, bingo. They had bingo every Saturday, and I would go down there with her and work the bingo game with them. And when I worked in that game, I had retired from an agriculture department, and the priest said, "What you doing in your spare time?" I said, "I don't do nothing around the house. I cut a little grass, little, you know, different things around the house." Ed Fischella, he was getting ready to make that transition from a priest over to Victor Jones. Somebody was getting ready to go to it. And he used to cut the grass. He said, "Why don't you come down and cut the grass for me?" You know what I mean? I said, okay. That's how I started working in the church in a way. I said, okay, I come and, you know, do this work for you, you know, during the summertime. But in the meantime, I say, well, I'm doing this, I may as well join the church. I done confirmation class, became Catholic. You know, my mother was a Catholic, my sister was a Catholic, 2 brothers were Catholic, and I was just out there straight. You know, I knew I guess I wasn't anything. You know, but at the time, you know, I found Jesus in the Catholic Church again. You know, since then, that's been my Dr. Jesus. Some of the first, say like the first 20 years or so, it's almost like a blur. The happiest part is about having kids, you know, or bringing kids up. It wasn't easy, but it was challenging. The happiest part of our life, one part was happiest life was with our children. We always look forward to the weekends where we would go to the beach. My wife's family had a beach home down in Columbia, Maryland, that we used to go every also on the weekends during the summertime. You know, swimming, crabbing, you know, everything you do it on the beach, and that was good times for the whole family, and we enjoyed that very much.
We really loved that. All of the kids like that. My mother decided she was going to sell it before she passed, and my oldest grandson says, "Oh, I remember that beach house. Why didn't they called my mother Darby? Why did Darby sell it?" And I said, "Well, I guess she felt the need to, but they said they always want to go back." I learned to crab, and I used to love to go crabbing. And one of our daughters became queen of the beach. I guess that was like 76.
What was that? I was queen.
77.
Queen, yeah.
90.
What is
Queen of the community, Miss Columbia Beach. Each one of them had their own personalities, and they were good students, and they were kids that couldn't sit still. They had to be doing something. They were always doing something for somebody else. That was a point of pride. My daughter, the oldest daughter, graduated from junior high school at the same time that I graduated from college. I went to Federal City College, and I graduated with the first class in 1972, the first 4-year class. My degree was in studio art.
Nice.
And my brother was already a teacher, so he says, "Do you want to teach?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I can try." And I took classes in education during my first year and received my teaching certificate. The oldest one was interested in going to college in the beginning. She went. And the 2 middle ones did not go to college right away. But it ended up that before both of them passed, they had attended college and were both good workers and good parents. I now have only the Alpha and the Omega left.
In these years?
The hardest thing to endure was the death of the first one. It wasn't her death so much as her illness. When she became ill, they took so long to find out what was wrong with her. And it turned out that she had pancreatic cancer. 10 years later, Tony passed. And I think she, for probably a couple of years, did not want to say that she knew that she had cancer also. Prayers and family support and church support. I was prefect for the sodality at that time, and I had a lot of support from my solar sisters. And Father Brigade was there both times.
Yeah.
We had unrelenting support from him.
Thank you.
But as long as I had my rosary, had my Josephite prayers, and St. Jude, I seemed to be muddling through.
Sometimes you feel like you get real depressed, like say you lose a loved one or somebody happens, this happens, little thing. Even this pandemic going on, you think about things happening, and you may not be personal in a way, you know, you get a feeling of depression, you know that, but then you got to talk with Jesus, and all that depression feeling goes away. I don't know why it just goes away.
There's a whole lot of change. This area, Capitol View, used to be like a little village. The downtown part, they start calling it downtown again now, was Minnesota Avenue. Mm-hmm. You had all kinds of shops and grocery stores. We had bakeries, we had shoe stores, ladies' shops, men's shop, but up here on the hill, Capitol View, we used to be able to actually see the Capitol from our front steps until they built the stadium. It was difficult not seeing the people who were in your life virtually every day. And at first it was difficult not going to Mass, but we went virtual. And it wasn't too long before the pandemic or the closure that our Masses were televised, but we had always, on days that we didn't go, looked at Mass for shut-ins on Sundays. And we find ourselves still looking at it as we leave out of the door to go to 11 o'clock Mass. You can't just walk out the door every time when you have a disagreement. You have to learn how to work things out together, solve your problems, stay in prayer. And we've been in prayer together. We do the Josephite novena prayer.
We used to do St. Joseph prayer to the sick. I think love is number one. We love each other, and we always had a thing that we always forget. You know, we never carry no grudges. Never carry a grudge. Whatever. Any arguments or disagreement we have, we always settle it most of the time at that moment. I think it must be love, because it doesn't to me, because I asked the other day, last week, I asked the priest, I said, damn, I didn't know we were married that long. No, don't seem that way. Don't seem like 60 some years. we're thankful that we're still here to come down in the room and see our little great-grand kid running around the house, just being disobeyed. Look at them. We just let them go out. Let them go do what they want to do.
What is my favorite thing about him? I don't know whether it's my favorite thing about him, but I can read him. How he's going to react to a certain situation, or will he give no reaction at all? He doesn't like surprises.
Just think how nice she is. That's very, very, very kind, nice person to everyone she meets. I know she never have a bad word to say about anyone. Boy, she is something else. You know, she's one kind person.